Hello, I am Sen the Manga Addict, and welcome to my channel. I just had a birthday, and while I can't say that I'm too terribly thrilled about getting yet another year older, it was a great excuse to go shopping. I had a lot of used bookstores, and I got quite a few things I would like to share with you today. I'm going to start off with the gifts I received. Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter Volume 1. I enjoy the different Otome Isekai series, so this one's been on my radar for a little bit, even though I hadn't actually seen it in stores to pick it up. I just had it on my list, so in my defense, while I broke a lot of the starting new series in this haul, this one is the only one that technically isn't my fault. While it was on my birthday list, I did not purchase it myself, so that's the only actual pass I get in this whole haul. I got Behind the Scenes Volume 2 and 3, so now I am only missing the last installment of that series. I haven't actually started reading any of them yet, but when it's a shorter series like that, and it's not brand new releases, I tend to hold off if I can and just read the whole thing at once. Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Donuts Under Crescent Moon. I would enjoy either Yuri and Office Romance all on its own, but this gives me the best of both worlds. I now have the whole series, so I was really grateful to receive it. Next, I'm going to go over all of the books I got brand new, whether it be new releases or books off the shelf. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers Volume 2. I've been very happy that this is being printed in English. It might have one of the most ludicrous setups you have heard in a rom-com, but they make it work. It's one of the few series I actually really enjoy the whole love triangle, that it doesn't feel unbalanced and needlessly one-sided to me. Beware the Villainess Volume 4. As I said, I've been a big fan of the Otome Isekai, Villainous in particular. So this is actually one of my favorite webcomics, period, printed. So needless to say, when Ice Press announced that they were publishing it, I lost all my marbles. I told anybody who would listen. Gazing at the Star Next Door, Volume 6. This one's been a really cute, solid shoujo. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Volume 22. This series has had a ton of great covers, but I think this one has really taken the cake. I've been waiting at the edge of my seat at the end of every volume. I have a few people I know who have just watched the anime, and I've been so glad that Season 2 has finally arrived, because there were so many times I had to stop myself from saying anything, because to me it's been so long since I found out X piece of information, but they didn't know it yet. Holy Grail of Eris Volume 10. I've been really enjoying this shoujo murder mystery. I don't see people talk about it quite as often, which kind of surprises me with the amount I hear about murder podcasts, but all the same, I'm very excited that this is getting an anime. I'm hoping it means a lot of people will give the series a chance. Shadow's House Volume 9. I very much enjoyed the anime. I never saw people talk about it quite as much, or the manga as much, but it has been a series I have very much been hooked on since I first started watching. Cheeky Brat Volume 14. I'm not much of a basketball person, but I am a shoujo person. I wasn't sure about these two at first, but I got the first couple volumes cheap, so I tried it out, and then I just had to get all of the other volumes because these two are absolutely adorable. Nana Volume 11. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Nana. I love it and I hate it because I just want all of the characters to be happy, but I am hooked. And I finish a volume and I turn around and I order the next volume, and I'm going to continue torturing myself like this until I finally catch up. And then I don't know what I'll do with myself. Fly Me to the Moon Volume 6. This one had been on my list for a while without me trying it out at all, and then I finally came across a volume 1 at a used bookstore. So I picked it up and I read it, and it had Yurisi Yatsura references, which frankly is half of the reason I have the manga anime problem I do. The other half goes to Cardcaptor Sakura. I probably would have been hooked regardless, but that definitely made me, okay, what's coming next? What reference am I going to get next? And so far, it hasn't disappointed. I've very much been enjoying making my way towards being up to current on this one. Natsume's Book of Friends, Volume 1. I've certainly heard people say lots of good things about this series, but I hadn't actually seen it at a store until just now, so I had to pick up Volume 1 so I can give it a solid try. Arachi and Shimamura, Volume 4. It's been a very solid Yuri. I don't have a lot of strong feelings about it, but Volume 4 was the only one I was missing, so I was really happy to go ahead and be able to pick it up. Final Fantasy Lost Stranger Volume 8. I don't have any volumes of this series yet, but at that price, I'm such a Final Fantasy fan. I had never dove in and gone ahead and picked up Lost Stranger yet, but at that price, I could not resist. Beyond the Clouds Volume 5. I still need 3 volumes out of this one, but the artwork on the covers has always been so gorgeous. I've always had it at the back of my brain of when I see these, I'm going to go ahead and finish it out. I'm giving the Disgraced Noble Lady I Rescued a Crash Course in Naughtiness Volume 3. I originally passed up this series as it was getting started because that sounded like a hentai title. And that just isn't as much my kind of thing. I guess the way to phrase it is, when there's less substance to the story, I'm not as interested. And then the anime hit, and I was seeing stills out of it. I'm like, wow, this is actually the most wholesome thing. I guess I should have actually picked it up and read the description. So, I now have the first 3 volumes. It's super cute. I love it. Then that leaves the used bookstore finds, of which there are many. Blue Flag, Volumes 4 and 5. I didn't know what I was getting into when I started Blue Flag. I found Volume 7 pretty cheap. So now all I have left to pick up are 6 and 8. I'd seen positive feedback, but I honestly hadn't seen the content of any of the feedback, so I was not expecting it to be so wholesome, so well-rounded, so accepting. And I've been so thrilled with it. I just have 2 more to go, and I'm very eager to get them. First Love Monster, Volumes 2 and 3. This series has been something else. I found 1, 4, 5, and 6 for incredibly cheap, and so I had gone ahead and picked them up. This filled in a hole for me. I've just got 2 more to go to finish the series entirely, and I don't quite know how they'll wrap it up in a satisfactory way, but it's again, it's kind of something. I will reserve my final judgment until I actually finish the series, but if I hadn't found them so cheap, it probably wouldn't have been one I'd continued. Noragami Volume 3, 7, and 8. Noragami obviously is plenty of a name. I've had it on my radar for a while, but I kept telling myself I was going to pick up my brother's copies because he got all the omnibuses and just read his, and then decide if I was going to buy it. But I'm just not as much a fan of the omnibuses, so I kept not doing it, and then seeing those at the bookstore, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the plunge. Alice the 19th, Volume 1. I haven't heard anything about this series, but obviously Yu Watase is a very prolific mangaka, so that was enough for me to go ahead and pick up Volume 1 to try out. Kakuryou Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, Volume 1. I've seen a little bit of talk about this on social media, definitely enough that I wanted to go ahead and check it out when I could, and used bookstores are the best way for that. Lovesick Ellie Volume 2. I got 5, 7, and 10 very cheap, so every once in a while I'll see the next volume I need sequentially, and I'll go ahead and fill them in. Now I've got 2 sequentially, and eventually I'll get to the rest of them. Call of the Night Volumes 4, 5, and 6, which fills in a hole for me, because I've already got 7. And that'll give me a good chunk that I can go ahead and read now. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 4. I still need to go ahead and pick up 3, but I felt like I should go ahead and pick it up, being so close to where I needed to be able to continue reading. Hitomi-chan is Shy with Strangers, Volume 2. I've got 1 and I've got 3, and I think 5 is the other one I'd found. This was a recommendation for me from my best friend, so I was planning on picking up 2 as soon as I could find it anyway, so I was very lucky to go ahead and find it. Fushigi Yugi Volume 15. I've been trying to slowly track down all of these, get myself caught up. La Corda d'Oro, Volumes 3 and 4. Hopefully I said that right. I haven't picked up any of these before, but it looked really cute, so I couldn't resist. Bride of the Barrier Master, Volume 1. Another series I've seen plenty of positive things about on social media, so I've definitely been wanting to try it out. Prince Freya, Volume 1. Another one that's been on my list to check out as soon as I could. She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat, Volumes 3. and 5. I've got some catching up to do on this series, but I've seen so many people rave about it, so I had to go ahead and pick them up. Alice in the Country of Clover, Cheshire Cat Waltz, Volumes 1, 2, and 5, which actually completes that subset of Alice in the Country of Clover for me. I've still got a lot of other Alice in the Country of Clover holes, but one segment finished. Skip Beat was a classic shoujo that I was completely missing out of my collection. I haven't seen the individual volumes often. I've only seen the very occasional omnibus, which isn't as much what I care for, so I had to go ahead and pick up Volumes 1 and 2 since I saw them. Sunday's Dreamers, Volume 1. I picked up Sunday's Dreamers Spellbound, Volume 3 for very, very cheap a long time ago, so I was really excited to finally see another one of them. And then I realized afterwards that it was a series that took place before Spellbound, so even more yay. Even more books I would have to buy before I could get to the other. Water Dragon's Bride, Volumes 2, 4, and 5. It's yet another shoujo series that I have just been tracking down whatever volumes I can in whatever order I can, and eventually I will have them all. And then last, but certainly not least, we've got Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena, Volume 3. I did not quite know what I was getting into when I started picking up the series, but while a bit somber, it's definitely been worth the journey, so to speak. And that was the end of the 51 manga I picked up for my birthday this year. I might have gone a little overboard. As this is my first video, I would love any feedback you have to give me, as well as just, frankly, what books do you collect? I'd love to just hear from you. Thank you for making your way to the end. Have a good one.